everybody, and welcome to another episode of Web3 Weekly. I am Crypto Kenny, and we've got some interesting stuff to cover today. We're going to go over a few things here. Last week we were on with Nate, and we went over just some basic NFT market breakdown. Just what we saw going on, a couple metas we saw taking place during the time, and we went into some risk management over several different platforms on trading. So if you haven't seen that, then I would encourage you to check that out. It's right up here. So what we are going to do today is we're going to talk about a few different things. We're going to go over the current marketplaces in the space, and there's been some recent news lately of marketplaces, some big announcements on several current marketplaces and some new marketplaces coming available for NFT trading. So we're going to talk about those, talk about the pros and cons of each one. I'm going to show you guys some visuals here of some of that. Then we're going to go over some analytical tools, my recommendations for some analytical tools for the space, and then lastly we're going to talk about some of the current news in the space. So again, if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do that. It really helps us out. It gets us out there in front of more people. If you would like to get any of the information you hear on this podcast, or want to look into anything from trading, NFT flipping to market analytics, you can join us on Alpha Mutants Discord. We have our launch coming up on August the 18th. The links will be down below for the Alpha Mutants Twitter, my personal Twitter, and the Discord. So join us there, have some fun. Got a lot of new people coming in lately, and so it's a good place to chill, talk crypto, talk NFTs. All right, guys. So what we're going to start with today is I want to talk about some we'll talk about this in the news when we get to the news section, but we've had a couple different marketplaces come on the scene recently. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about some of the active marketplaces currently and what's going on with some of those. This is more of a video just to give you my personal opinions about some of these, not financial advice, but it is I am going to give you some personal insight into the use of some of these and what potentially might happen in the future regarding NFT marketplaces. So let me a second here. We'll share the screen, and then we can get into some of this stuff here. So pull up first. We're going to be looking at. All right, let's share. All right, so what we see here is what we're going to have here is we're going to have go over the in my opinion, the NFT marketplaces that you need to have bookmarked, that you need to be checking out on a daily or weekly basis, and that you need to be buying, selling, trading on, and what the reasons are. So we're going to start out with OpenSea, the one that everyone's probably familiar with. OpenSea is still by far the largest marketplace currently. They do support NFTs on the Ethereum blockchain, the Solana blockchain, and Polygon, and they're in works to do other chains as well. So that's currently what's going on. The OpenSea, what it lacks in some of its functionality, it makes up for in sheer volume. You will see OpenSea does the most volume of any other platform by a factor of 8 to 10. So we're looking at that. So basically, for those of you the few of you that aren't familiar, their homepage will have some notable drops, just talking about some of these. If you guys aren't in Alpha Mutants, we were involved with the Kingship drop here yesterday. You'll have a quick breakdown of the top performers over the last 24 hours. And then you will have some trending categories, and then just some informational stuff here, resources and getting started. So that'll be on the homepage. You'll have the Explorer, where you can look at NFTs on different marketplaces or different blockchains, art, collectibles, domain names, all this stuff that'll filter those things out. Stats will take you to rankings, which will rank by the volume, and you can filter some of the rankings out here. So you can filter by volume, high or low here, and then we can see this 24-hour, the 7-day floor price, owners, items, all that stuff's in there. They also have a function for activity where you can pull up just the activity for the entire marketplace. You can scroll through. There's a lot of filtering functions that you can go through there also. So lastly, you will have the resources under here, which can give you different resources for them. So like getting started with the opening collections, buying, selling, all that kind of stuff. They'll give you little courses on there. So my take on OpenSea, OpenSea is still the #1 exchange. They have the market volume that for the majority of the market, and so it's a great place to, especially for beginners, to buy, sell, and trade NFTs. And they're pretty straightforward. You can also look at your personal wallets on here. You can pull out just some different things in your personal wallets and scroll through and check out that kind of stuff too. So moving on, let's look into LooksRare. So in LooksRare here was a vampire attack on the OpenSea when they first launched, and they basically gave people tokens that had transactions on OpenSea to incentivize them to move over to their platform. Now, LooksRare has much smaller volume. However, I found with LooksRare that sometimes it does benefit to pick up more blue chip collections on LooksRare, simply because you do get rewards for those things, and you can save yourself a little money. LooksRare also only has a 2% fee that they charge. OpenSea does a 2.5%, so that 0.5% can make a big difference when you're talking a very high value collection. So LooksRare, on their front page here, you'll see that they'll do what they're currently trending. It's a little bit less convoluted on there. It's a very simple setup. You can look at their top collections here, which we'll go down through, and you can expand that if you'd like to. It'll show you their current APY on the Looks token, and then that's pretty much it for their start. Now you'll have your Explore, which will bring you into their different collections. There's filtering options over here, mid to max. You can look at activity, which will be here on LooksRare. You can filter this through like specifically sales. Look at these over a time period or time frame. You'll have their collections, which they'll have a list of the highest performing collections here that you can filter in 24 hours, volume changes, descending, ascending, highest total volume, these type of things that you can filter out. So then you'll have the reward section, which staking, listing, and trading. So under staking, you'll have the contracts for the LooksRare staking options and trading options. So you'll see that stuff here. And then you'll be able to also look into the listing and trading, which in listing and trading, on LooksRare, they will give you certain rewards for listing high volume collections. So for right now, you've got other deeds, Murakami scrolls, and it'll show you how many looks you will get per listing on these for listing these high volume collections. Okay, so that's LooksRare. We're also going to look into Coinbase. Now, Coinbase's NFT marketplace has not made a huge splash. Everyone had it hyped up unintentionally, in an unintentionally large way for a long time, and it did not come to pass the way that a lot of the market was thinking it would have. However, there are benefits. I think there are benefits to transacting and at least being aware of Coinbase Marketplace. We are in the middle of a bear market, a crypto winter. So there's things that aren't doing well now. It doesn't necessarily mean that when the trends start to move up, they won't be doing well in the future. So I think it's worth looking at, keeping your eye on this. Now, one thing that Coinbase does boast is that a lot of people that are not super familiar with Web3 will use Coinbase as a launch. So, for example, we have Bill Murray is doing his NFT drop here on Coinbase exclusively, right? So you'll have things like that, and then some of the higher volume collections, the blue chips and such, do pretty well in here, and also very small volume NFT plays sometimes do well on here because of newcomers coming in and just trying to get their feet wet. Now, as far as like the interface, it's a little clunky. They have a search function. Their Explore collection is kind of convoluted. You follow, they allow you to follow different communities, so they'll have some suggestions here. So it's not quite up to par with the other ones we've seen so far, but it is just in beta. So you'll have to discover here, which will just give you basically like a Twitter style scroll down list of just different NFTs and collections. You can go down through and check. You can look at, for specifically if you're following certain people, it'll let you go down through. I currently don't follow anyone, so that's not something we're going to have one here. Trending. I'll show you what's currently trending on their marketplace, and you can like look down through that. There's a couple different filters you can use. A little bit clunky in my opinion, but and then you'll have drops. So under the drops section, I think is probably the most useful section on here, because it'll show you exclusive Coinbase drops that are only taking place here, and sometimes those can be profitable if you're doing your own research and looking. So we'll move on. So the next two are actually what I want to talk about the most. So Magic Eden is an NFT marketplace that has, up until this point, been solely on Solana. Now, an interesting fact about Magic Eden is they're doing about 1/10 of the volume of OpenSea, which in this market is incredible. Now, the interesting thing about Magic Eden, for one thing, their filtration and just interface is fantastic. So you get the major numbers right up here at the top. You'll get your Sol price. You'll get your volume totals in Sol. You'll get your 24-hour volume. Then you get your Solana like network numbers here. So you get all of these numbers at a glance right at the top. You'll have your marketplace, popular collections, new collections, drop calendar, which is interesting. The drop calendar you can pull up, and it'll show you like the collections that are scheduled to drop, which is interesting. You can kind of like prepare for certain drops that way. I think that's a cool function. We'll also see auctions that are taking place, so that's cool filtering. Insight will go into like stats that we can pull up here, which is also very interesting. You can pull up some really quick stats. You can look at the 1, 7, and 30 day, which is I think is a great tool to be able to have integrated into a marketplace. You also have marketplace breakdown here, so it'll show you the volume on in Solana trading on these particular marketplaces, which most of the time you would have to go to an analytical tool to be able to do these things. So you'll see that currently Magic Eden is the highest volume play in the Solana ecosystem. So very interesting. You can also create a watch list, which I think is pretty fantastic. So when you go and you look at a collection, you can put that on your watch list. So you can watch if you're looking for an entry point into a certain collection. So very fantastic UI. They also boast a launch pad here. So that's just projects that are launching off of their particular launch pad that they offer here on Solana, which is cool. So you have live on here. There's not a whole lot going on it, but it is they are there, and you can check them out. So you have Eden Games here, which you can go to the home screen on the Magic Eden Games, which are NFT gaming that operates through Magic Eden. So this is basically just games. Magic Eden's really big on gaming projects. Of course, Solana is as a whole. So you can just filter through those if you're just looking into gaming. They'll have creators, apply for listings, apply for Launchpad, apply for auctions. That's all if you're just listing a project. They also have some educational stuff, introduction to NFTs. Their support is by far the best support on any platform that I've used personally so far. That's my opinion, obviously, but I've had to get involved with support on LooksRare, on OpenSea, and by far Magic Eden's has been the best. And they have their social medias down here, you guys can follow them. On. So the one piece of information I want to talk about Magic Eden is they have recently announced that Magic Eden will very soon be supporting Ethereum-based NFTs, which this is a big thing. I think that potentially, because they are already at about a tenth of the volume of uh, OpenSea, that there could be a heavy migration into Magic Eden based off of that. So we'll see. We'll see if the Ethereum update, the Ethereum NFTs update, actually is as smooth as what the current UI and stuff is here. Because if so, there could be a really big potential for a migration over to Solana or over to Magic Eden. Once Ethereum-based NFTs. They also announced they have plans in place to integrate other blockchains as well. So we're moving into a multi-blockchain marketplace system, which is exactly where we need to go. So I'm very excited about that. Lastly, I want to talk about GameStop. So GameStop, after teasing this since late 2021, we finally have the GameStop beta NFT website. Okay. So the first thing you need to know is you can connect with your MetaMask wallet here, or a couple other wallets that they support, Coinbase and I believe one or two others. But the transactions will be on Loopring, I believe. So they're going to be a layer 2 transactional system. So you will have to move money into that over to layer 2 in order to purchase on the site here. So it's very interesting. So there's a couple interesting things about this. So GameStop, their marketplace, in the first 9 hours when they opened this marketplace, they did over $1 million in volume, which is pretty insane when you're looking at, the average daily volume of OpenSea, in the last couple of weeks has been between 10 and 15 million. So very, very big to hit a number like that, just brand new on the market. Now, another thing with the analytics on this is that the majority of new users to active wallets and active users across other marketplaces on the GameStop marketplace is very significant. There is a massive amount of new users coming on here, which presents a potential opportunity, right, for you to go on here, list some of your NFTs, specifically art NFTs, and really potentially get a better audience if you're trying to sell or you're trying to snipe some good art that's on here, those type of things. So now they will be working very closely with some layer 2 solutions. So there is some speculation that that Immutable X will be heavily involved with the marketplace here. So that could be some potential longer term alpha there. I believe Immutable X could potentially be a sleeping giant once we see some more upwards movement. So you'll see they have a really clean UI here. This is beta, so it's very limited as to what you can do. But they do have a clean UI here. You'll see some featured NFTs, and then you'll see right through here some Immutable X NFTs coming soon. So they are going to integrate with Immutable X, but there is some speculation that not only is they're just going to integrate Immutable X NFTs, but they may even build out using Immutable X. So that may even be the transaction layer at some point. So you can have basic exploration here. You go under Explore. It's going to show you some of their. So currently we have almost 300 collections on here that you can look into and check out on the marketplace here. And then they'll have individual NFTs, right? So around we're getting close to 60K NFTs currently on the marketplace here. So a growing marketplace. There's not a whole lot of extra stuff you can do. This is beta, obviously. So you can go to Explore, which is the tab we're under. You can go to Stats, which will show you some of the stats in the marketplace here. They do have a learning center, and then you can go into your individual wallets, which are currently right here. Okay, so that is what we have for the marketplace updates. So there are notably mentionable marketplaces that we didn't go over here. XYXZ, Byte.io. There are quite a few other marketplaces, but these ones I believe are the most commonly used and or have recent information that could potentially make them a play that you might want to look at. So now let's look into let's pull up another tab here. Let's talk about using these marketplaces. What are some of the tools that I recommend. And I'm only ever going to suggest you guys free tools. We'll probably have Nate on here sometime and talk about some of the paid tools to get a more in-depth look into those, so that we can talk about what you might want to look into getting. But right now we're going to go just into free options and tools so that we can look at those. Okay. So currently, let's look. So the number one tool I think that anyone should have, and some people prefer Coinmarketcap. I personally prefer CoinGecko. Either one of those will work. So you can use whatever you'd like to use. But so basically, either Coinmarketcap or CoinGecko. This is just to track if you're trading NFTs on Solana or on Ethereum, and you want to quickly track the ups and downs of cryptocurrencies, and then just other cryptocurrencies in general. It's really easy just to bookmark, CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, and you can get at a glance, volumes, 7 days, like what the top market cap coins are, these things, and you can look at those at a glance. So I think there's a lot of value in having these tools available. So also we're going to see here that you can specifically search cryptocurrencies. You can look at specifically new cryptocurrencies, look at those things. This is cool if you're looking at a project that an NFT project, a gaming project, whatever, that's launched a token. You can find those things on here really quickly. Another really great function with the CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap is you can select a certain altcoin, and they will load up the basic information under said altcoin. Maybe. Sometimes they do have outages on the sites. So we'll see if we can go back into that. Okay, no. Well, we won't sit and wait for it. Something going on with that. But basically, you can they'll allow you to copy addresses. You can add certain coins to your MetaMask, those type of things. So it's a really useful function. So now let's get into the analytical tools, free analytical tools that are needed with NFTs that I think everyone should use. So IC Tools is a mainstay and a must-have in my opinion, because at a glance you can bookmark these pages and you can at a glance see what is trending. Okay, so we can look at the sales here. Look, we can filter by hour. And then there is a premium package here, but the free package will let you go from an hour, 12 hours. But you can go, if you have the premium package, you can go down to the minute. But we see here that the Americans NFT currently trending 404 sales in the last hour. Tells you about the volume, market cap, so we can see this going on here, and you can filter down through and check out some of this stuff, right? So that's a really good tool that you can use, especially when you're looking for degen plays or just volume plays in the market. You can go under collections to trending. You can go under discover. I'm having some lag on some of these sites. But you can go under discover and look at just some more information there. Calendars, you'll see like launch dates, calendars, and that type of thing. So it's a cool place to get all of that in one place and to have that information at your fingertips. So besides for IC Tools, DUNE Analytics, DUNE.com is one I really like to look at. This will show you you can do several things on here. So we can look at volume, which is a very good indicator of like trend changes in the market. So right here we see OpenSea monthly volume in Ethereum. So we can definitely see the last couple months in volume have been comparatively low during this down period to what we saw during the end of 2021, right? Really from mid 2021 to the end of 2021. You can also look OpenSea daily volume. We've been in a sideways motion for weeks now in daily volume. You can see that here, but you can see specifics. So you can hit these up and see specific volumes. So we're right under 10 million so far today, being about 315 EST. OpenSea monthly NFTs sold. So we'll look at the amount of NFTs sold. You can look at monthly fees in Ethereum. You can look at active traders. You can look at the total OpenSea traders over time. So you can see the growth in traders over time. So we can look at OpenSea and with Polygon. There's just a massive amount of analytics here, and you can look at different marketplaces also. So these are just for like different metrics on OpenSea, but you can look at these on different marketplaces also. LooksRare or Magic Eden, all these type of things. So it's very good tool to use. You can also have some favorites where you can bookmark certain things and just pull them up instantly. So great tool. For tracking your NFTs, your personal NFTs and stuff, I recommend for the free option, Zapper is a really cool free option. So it will allow you to track not only your NFTs, but your portfolio. It also has a gas tracker that will be there for you. So basically what it does is it will pull the off of OpenSea and other marketplaces and tell you what your NFTs are valued at, what their estimated value is, what the floor price is. You can look at histories of your trades. You can have multiple wallets in here. So a lot of interesting stuff. You can put an address book where you can follow other people's wallets, and it allows you to track these things. You can look at it, there's some connects here with bridges. You can look at not only the Ethereum network, but tons of other networks you can connect to, and look at what you have on those, gas trackers on all of those, and those type of things. So another very good tool to be used. Lastly, we have Rarity Sniper. There's several different Rarity projects you can use. I like Rarity Sniper, but you can use whatever you want to use, honestly. There's several good ones. Trait Sniper is one. So you can look at those, whatever you're more comfortable with. I like Rarity Sniper. So on here, you'll have a, explore collections, which will be right down through here. So you can pick specific collections to go into. Featured collections they'll have coming down through here, last blog posts, and then some information down here at the bottom. So we can take, let's jump on here. Let's look at My Pet Hooligans. So, so it'll show you. It will show you the rarity rankings. And if they are for sale or not, based off of rarity rankings in the collection. So you can see these, and you can compare. If you use some of these tools together, you can compare sales of different rarities, and if someone has dropped a very rare piece in the collection for a favorable price, it's a good tool to be able to snipe off of those different things. So very interesting and neat tool that you can use in your quest to get the perfect snipe in, the perfect flip, making those 5, 10 ETH in an hour on a perfect flip. So that would be My Pet Hooligans collection, but you can do any collection this way that's featured on a Rarity Sniper. So once again, a very nice tool to use in the space. So now, lastly, what I want to look at, guys, in today is just there's been a lot of news going on in the space and some very notable things. So I want to bring you here just into our news bot in the Discord. Let's bring it down to news and recaps. And we're going to talk about these. So number one, that we have here is VV payouts. Payouts is now available to everyone. So if anyone hasn't followed VV has been around for quite a long time, and they've been trading NFTs on the VV platform with their own currency on that platform called GEM. That hasn't been, up until this point, has not been withdrawal. Had the function to withdraw. So now that VV has announced that with KYC, the withdrawal functions will be possible. So expect volume on VV to simply explode in the next few weeks, because VV was an onboarding of almost even non-crypto related people. Just your average Web2 normies coming in to use VV because of its simplicity. You can download an app, you can use your credit card to get into it, and purchase what you need to make purchases. They have a lot of licenses with like major products with Cartoon Network and with different major IPs. Like I believe they have IPs with like Batman and like a lot of different superheroes and things like that. So big news coming out. Keep your eye on VV. And maybe if you haven't transacted on that platform to start looking at that. We already covered the GameStop NFT Marketplace, which was, in my opinion, a big one. I think it's worth mentioning this one here that Nickelodeon is bringing in a Rugrats and Hey Arnold NFT. I was never a big fan of those shows, but I know they have a big following, so those will be coming. If you haven't looked into that, definitely look. Take some time to check that stuff out. Also, the Price is Right. So you're going to see a lot of different things. You see Nickelodeon here, The Price is Right, coming out with an NFT. I believe Pringles has brought in an NFT that they're going to do. So a lot of really interesting products and IPs and stuff like that that's moving into the space. Okay, so yeah, Pringles right there. So. It's almost overwhelming the amount of in real life brands that are making a move to the NFT space to kind of look into what the potential is with NFTs in the space. So we also just had I don't believe it's one here, but we just recently had Bored Ape Yacht Club flip CryptoPunks in overall collection volume, all-time volume. So that's something that is going to be very historical in the future. If you have not, I mean, if you're not involved with the Bored Ape ecosystem, I would say that there is there is an argument to try to push towards that because of the things that they're doing in the space, and that there is potential with them holding the top. Currently the top 4 to 5 collections every single week are owned by Yuga Labs, and so that means something when you have that much of a market collective in the space. So really short show today, guys. I didn't want to go super long, but I hope that gave you some insight into marketplaces, analytics, things that you can use as a newcomer to the space to really start getting involved with NFTs, and to get involved with having a leg up from most people that just come in and purchase one on a site, but having the versatility to check many different marketplaces, understand what they do differently, and to be able to look at things like volume, like rarity, like those type of things. Again, if you're not well versed in these things, we'll continue to put up podcasts with just our opinions and things like that. Also, there we have a lot of this material inside of the Alpha Mutants Discord, so please take the time to check that out. But that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. We've got stay really tuned the next couple weeks. We're going to jump off of some of just the education analytics and drop into really getting into interviews with some industry leaders in the space and some cool personalities. So be watching for all of that. So again, thank you guys for watching. Please please subscribe. Leave us a comment for what you would like us to look into or who you would like us to have on. What other subjects you'd like us to cover. Please feel free to do those. I'll answer everyone that I can. And down below, you'll have the Alpha Mutants Twitter, the Alpha Mutants Discord, and my own personal Twitter if you guys want to like and follow for information on Alpha Mutants and then my own personal takes on the market. That would be greatly appreciated. But that being said, thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you next time, and we will see you back again here next week.